The world is still buzzing following the recent WikiLeaks release of U.S. diplomatic cables. It's just the latest batch of embarrassing classified documents that target the United States government and military. Now many on the right are calling for drastic measures to silence WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange.
He was being clever at the beginning, but the reality is that lives can be lost because of that. We've made that known to him, and he continues to go ahead. So I find it absolutely disgraceful. He should be prosecuted under the Espionage Act and given as long a prison term as absolutely possible.
Well, one, leaking the material is deplorable. I agree with the Pentagon's assessment that the people at WikiLeaks could have blood on their hands.
The guy who runs the website is a sleazeball named Julian Assange, who is bent on damaging America. Since he's not a U.S. citizen, it's hard for American authorities to move against him, but we can prosecute those who leak the documents to Assange, an Australian.
We can act unilaterally. Yeah. We can go and get him without another country's permission. We did it with General Noriega. There's authority in the Office of Legal Counsel that we can go and take somebody anywhere in the world.
So do these guys have a case? Is Julian Assange a criminal? And should our military be invading Sweden to capture him? Joining me to discuss this issue is Seton Motley, president of lessgovernment.org. Seton, welcome.
Good to see you.
Good to see you again, too. So you hate big government. You want less government. This guy is doing a pretty good job of pointing out where our government has failed. Well, isn't he your friend?
He's not. Part of the whistleblower legend, part of the lore of a whistleblower, is to point out malfeasance by the government. You know, wasteful spending, et cetera, et cetera. These documents aren't doing that. They're just undermining American foreign policy, whether it's military or diplomatic.
What is useful about an American foreign policy where two secretaries of state in a row have broken with 230 years of diplomatic tradition and said to their diplomats, go ahead and be spies? What is useful about a U.S. foreign policy where we invade two countries that have nothing to do with us?
It's not a pretty world. And what this document dump has done is basically strip mined our entire State Department. And strip mined this latest one, this last one. Yeah. The first ones were dedicated to undermining the war effort. Now he's strip mined the State Department.
But I mean, you're an outspoken opponent of government doing wrong. And here's government doing wrong, and this guy is catching them. And I don't get it why you're not.
What are they doing wrong?
Kissing them on the lips.
Wrong?
I mean,
what wrong has he done? I mean, what wrong has he exposed?
Well, I just gave a couple of examples.
I don't have a problem with that. And first of all, you're mischaracterizing what the State Department Secretaries of State were calling for. Second of all,
no, I'm not. Condi Rice specifically started this process of asking diplomats to get information like frequent flyer numbers, credit card numbers, if you can take a picture of their credit card on the table or something like, get all the information you can on these people so we can track them back. This started when George Bush was wiretapping people at in their apartments near the UN, diplomats, actually in violation of our treaties with the UN.
I'd like to
in the run-up to the war with Iraq.
I would like to ask one question. Why doesn't Julian Assange do this to the Russian government? Or to the Chinese government?
Actually, he's going to be, and he already has been. A lot of this.
He won't be long for this world when he starts pinging China and in Russia.
What's coming up next is the Bank of America. He's already, in an interview about a year ago, he says he's sitting on 50 gigs of Bank of America information. And then yesterday he came out and he said, next up is going to be a big U.S. bank. Are you going to be sitting around calling for his head and calling for us to invade Sweden?
If he were a bold and brave man, he would talk about, for example, the organ stealing and transfer of China.
Maybe he doesn't have a source in China, but my guess is that if he did, he would be putting the stuff out.
I would bet you dollars to donuts that he won't touch China with a 10-foot pole. So your assertion then is that he's doing this because he's anti-American? That's a pretty hard case not to make.
Do you think Daniel Ellsberg was anti-American?
Yeah, it's a different case. They're not apples. It's apples and bowling balls.
So you think that it's okay to point out one war which was based on a lie, but not to point out another war that was based on a lie? That the people inside government.
And again, your characterization is flawed. But the Iraq War was not based on a lie, unless the entire world was lying.
The entire world was not lying.
British intelligence.
We know now from WikiLeaks that Israeli intelligence, British intelligence, Russian intelligence were all telling us there's nothing there. I had David Kay on my radio show this morning. They knew that there was nothing there. The world knew that there was nothing there.
Then how do you...
Bush knew that there was nothing there. Bush told his biographer the year before he was elected president, if you think he was elected president, before the year before he was appointed by the Supreme Court.
Hey, you're a you signed that 9/11 truther.
He was going to attack.
You signed that 9/11 truther document, so you know.
If he had a chance to attack Iraq. I don't know what I signed.
It's the same one Van Jones signed.
Okay, well maybe I did. I don't know. Frankly.
You in fact did.
I just don't understand why. Here, let me even take this
visual aids.
This piece. Yeah,
yes.
Visual aids. This from McClatchy, Washington Bureau. You probably read this article. Officials may be overstating the danger from WikiLeaks. U.S. officials concede they have no evidence to date. This is dated November 29th. This is yesterday.
Yesterday.
No evidence to date that the documents led to anyone's death.
Well, wait a minute. I'll give you. Wait, stop right there. Stop right there. We'll take a piecemeal.
We have 1 minute.
The president of Yemen has been outed as saying, "You keep bombing, and we'll keep taking credit for it." Well, no, seriously.
You're worried about the president?
Yes, Tell me Al Qaeda is not going to target him now, because
tell me he's not in bed with Al Qaeda already.
But he's the one. He's been working with us and taking credit for the bombs we've been dropping on Al Qaeda targets in Yemen.
These guys are so corrupt. Come on, you know this.
Yes, but this is an ugly world.
It is an ugly world.
And there are enemies of our enemies that we have to work with. And Julian Assange undermining all of this is really damaging.
That is not, in my opinion.
And when he starts hitting China and Russia, you'll have to have me back on, because you'll never have me back on.
Thanks a lot for sharing.
Thanks a lot, Thom. Yeah.